One of these three men led the famous raid at Appalachian, New York.
Appalachian?
What is your name?
What's the
please?
famous raid in Appalachian, New York?
Edgar Croswell.
What is your name, please?
My name is Edgar Croswell.
What is your name, please?
My name is Edgar Croswell.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Edgar Croswell, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Snyder.
I wonder if this is it. Yeah, did they say Edgar Hoover? November 14th, 1957. A summit of mob leaders from across the United States is raided by New York State Police. News of the raid prompts FBI Director Edgar Hoover to acknowledge the existence of the American Mafia. So they raided the American Mafia. The police force did. Okay. Let's see who this guy is. I figured they'd know what his face looks like, but I guess actually, well, it might be in the newspapers back then because they read the newspapers a lot. You would think like, if it's a famous story, it would have been in the papers and they would have, like, seen his face, but I guess not.
Panel. First, Miss Polly Bergen. Next, a fine actor, a good
same
friend
people.
visiting our panel for the first time. Just completed the film The Crowded Sky for Warner Brothers, Mr. Dana Andrews. Next, Miss Kitty Carlisle. And finally, Mr. Tom Poston.
All right, Polly Bergen was born in 1930. So this show is January 14th, 1960. So yeah, she was 30 in this.
Dana, on behalf of all of us, a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Bud.
Hope you enjoy the show. I'm rather sure you will because we do.
I'm a little scared.
Don't
Never
be.
done
We'll-
this before.
Well, panel, will you follow along now with your copies of this first affidavit as I read it to you? I, Edgar Croswell, am a sergeant in the New York State Police. On November 14th, 1957, I led a surprise raid on an estate in the town of Appalachian, New York. We corralled 63 men, among them some of the nation's top hoodlums, men reputed to be in the hierarchy of the vicious international crime syndicate known as the Mafia. The roundup was the result of years of careful police work and has been called the law's biggest break in its drive against this criminal organization. Yesterday, sentence was pronounced on 20 of them who were found...
This show's interesting to me because I like to think I have a good read on, like, people. I, like, look at them. I never do. I just like to think I do. And I've proved it so far, going 0 for 3 off first looks. But I'm still going to do it the same way. Off first impressions, it's the first guy. He has to be the one.
Conspiracy. As a result of Appalachian, the year 1960
He's got leading police raid face to him.
may well mark the beginning of the end of the Mafia in the United States. Signed, Edgar Croswell. You heard these three gentlemen, panel, all claiming to be Sergeant Edgar Croswell, leader of the famous Appalachian raid. Gentlemen, you all ready to play our game? Yeah. All right, then let's start this first round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud, I think. I'll see how I can do here. Number 3, Mr. Croswell. Is there a comic strip that's running currently now that sort of deals with a parallel situation?
Not to my knowledge.
Is there number 2, please, could you tell me?
Never heard of one.
Number 1, is there a comic strip that sort of deals with this?
There is, but I don't know the name.
Well, it's Carrie Drake, I think.
I thought it was Dick Tracy.
No, this is Carrie Drake with Stone Face or Stone thing, whatever it is. And
He
they
was
have
on
a-
the bench with the belt and he shot the other guy today?
That's
Yeah.
Carrie Drake. Number 3, please, again. How did you hear about the conclave on the particular time that they began to gather?
We have been suspecting the movements around Joseph Barbera's home for a number of years. We have been watching them for a number of years.
Number 2.
I like that guy because he has the same hairline as me. And he's just not afraid to show it, baby.
Polly Bergen.
Number 1, but how did you know there were going to be so many to dinner?
Not him, not the guy over here, number 3.
that day.
We didn't know.
Number two, wasn't there a gentleman who was sort of up there to be sort of on trial with all these men for having done something they didn't like? Weren't they sort of holding court against a particular fella? At one...
There'd be no way of knowing what actually went on in there. That's what the charge in the conspiracy
Oh, well, who was the
about.
gentleman that I'm referring to, number three?
Joseph Barbera?
Is that who it was? Number one.
Carmen Lombardozzi.
Aha, now we have them fighting among each other. Number two, I don't know anything about criminals.
Well, don't look at me. Dana, you take over.
Number one, what was the legal step that those accused, they were sentenced yesterday, what was the legal step that they could have taken that would have caused, resulted in the case being very much more difficult against them?
I don't believe I understand your question.
There was a legal step that each of these defendants could have taken that would have made your job much more difficult in convicting them. What is that step?
If they had all taken the Fifth Amendment,
Number
refused to
two?
testify.
Same question?
I wouldn't know the legal aspect of that.
Number three?
I would say the violation of the Fifth Amendment.
There was a gentleman from Buffalo who was very well known in civic affairs there. Number one, what was his name?
John Montana.
Kitty?
Number one, who was the judge who sat on the case?
Kaufman.
Number two, the judge had a piece in the Times yesterday. He made a statement saying that this was not illegal to have stopped a car. Were you the one that stopped the car? Is that how the case got broken?
Well, it was
The car was stopped on a highway.
I was part of the team who was stopping cars.
And how many cars did you stop?
About 40.
Number three, how many cars did you stop?
45 cars.
Number one, has this ever been done before and stood up in a court of law?
Not to my knowledge.
That's it, panel. It's time to vote. So will you kindly, without
That was quick.
consultation, mark your
I'm
ballot.
actually, I'm shifting. I thought it was number one, but he did not answer the questions that well. I think it's number two, dude. It's gotta be number two.
And as you do, select on your now superior knowledge number one, number two, or number three. And of course, the team
No,
is challenged to
wait,
receive
no.
$250 for every incorrect.
Now I think it's number three. Think, dude, think. I gotta think harder, dude. Quit being so stupid. All right, I'm going number three. My final answer, number three.
Vote. Everybody voted?
No, no.
Oh, surprise. Polly's ready and you're not tonight. Polly.
All right?
For whom did you vote?
Wait a minute.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It never matters anyway. I voted for number one because,
Someone in the audience says you're right.
That's his
I
fault.
am? Well, then what other reason
Must be
do I
your
need?
maid's father.
Yes, I am.
Dana?
I voted for number one for the reason that the way he answered my question, if these defendants had taken the Fifth Amendment, they would not have had to testify, and this would have made the case against them very much more difficult. And violation of the Fifth Amendment had nothing to do with it. So I think number one knew what he was talking about.
Okay, Kitty?
Well, I think number one gave the right answers. But I voted for number two because I think I saw number two's picture in the paper when the case first broke, and it looks like the fella I saw.
Oh, you got a good memory.
That was
Tom?
probably the comic strip.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Kerry Drake.
Well, I thought perhaps the police officer who was actually involved might have at least been apprised of the fact that there was a comic strip situation that might have paralleled that, and number one was the only one who seemed to be aware of it. That's why I voted for number one, plus the fact that he identified the Buffalo Civic Affairs fellow, and also he identified much more accurately, to my knowledge, the fellow who may have possibly been on trial at the Barbera.
Oh no,
home.
did I second guess? Because I guessed him at the first, number one. Oh, and then I thought it was number 2 based on the questions, but then I got a last second thought that it was number 3, and that's who I went with. Oh, man. It's going to be number 2.
Home that day.
Would you mind running through your reasons again, please?
I think he's right.
All right.
Besides, I'm the head of the mafia.
So there you have it. Right or wrong, we're there to stay because we voted this way. Let's find out now just exactly whether we selected correctly or incorrectly, which we will do as we discover which one of these 3 gentlemen is the New York State Trooper involved in the Appalachian raid. So will the real Sergeant Edgar Crosswell please stand up?
Damn it, dude.
Thank you, sir, very much.
I should have just stuck with my gut, dude.
Well, you played, I guess, well, and the others played well, too. But
I should have stuck with my gut, dude. What the hell, man?
On your way out, there will be a gift package of Tony's fine products for the ladies in your lives. I know they'll enjoy them, as I hope you've enjoyed your visit to us tonight. Good night, and good luck to you.
Why can't a man use Tony's products?
Now, panel,
That's what I want to know.
The challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Carol Ziegler.
What is your name, please?
My name is Carol Ziegler.
What is your name, please?
My name is Carol Ziegler.
Panel, will you listen again as I read you this affidavit?
Oh my God, this is tough, man. Humans are not equipped to do this. I want to know, because the panel is like celebrities who ask these questions and tries to guess. I want to know if there's someone who is really good at like reading lies, like a detective or something who came on one of these shows. And see like what their success rate would be.
A mother, a Girl Scout leader, the wife of a Presbyterian minister, and a licensed basketball referee. I have refereed high school games, AAU games, and the games of professional teams such as the Baltimore
shot,
Rockets
it's
and the
number
Harlem
2.
Globetrotters. To my knowledge, I am the first woman in organized basketball licensed to referee men's games. Signed, Carol Ziegler.
Dude, it's the 60s. Women are refereeing basketball games. I swear I heard a story recently about the first woman official in the NBA. No way it's number 2, though. There's no way you wear the referee jersey and you're the actual person. There's no way.
Panel, you heard these 3 ladies claim to be Carol Ziegler, basketball referee. Let's begin this cross-examination with our guest tonight, Dana Andrews. Dana?
Carol Ziegler, number 1. You are the wife of a Presbyterian minister. What is the young people's group for teenagers in the Presbyterian Church?
Well, ours is called the Junior Fireside.
That's for teenagers.
That's
Number
right.
2.
The Keystoners, it varies according to the church.
Number 3.
Westminster Fellowship.
Westminster Fellowship. How many services a day? Number 1. How many services a day do you hold in your church? Does your husband hold?
1.
1?
1.
He preaches once a day.
That's right.
What is the group of what you would call the board of directors in business? What is that group called in the Presbyterian Church?
Elders.
Kitty?
Number 1, when you're a referee, do you go on the field?
The court.
The court?
Yes.
Is it always played indoors, basketball?
Yes.
It is. Do you ever get hurt?
I like the way she asked that. Is it always played indoors, basketball?
Number 2, can people get hurt?
Well, yes. Get her working across the
You don't ever get hurt.
I haven't, no.
Number 3, who's the head of the Girl Scouts of New York?
Of New York?
Yes. Number 1, who's the head of the Girl
I
Scouts?
don't know New York.
Do you know number 2?
No, I don't.
Where is your Girl Scout organization, number 3?
You mean what town?
No, yes, where are you? Where are you located?
Thank you. Ames, Iowa.
Oh, I thought it was New York. Oh, well, who's the head of the Girl Scouts, number 3?
You mean the overall head?
Yes.
I'm not real sure who the national leader is.
Do you know, number 1, the national leader?
No, I don't.
Tom Poston.
Girl
She's
Scout
onto
leader.
something.
Number 2, do you know the National Girl Scout leader?
Marie Spang.
Who?
Marie Spang.
Thank you. I'll ask number 2. This is sort of a technical question. Do you happen to know what a half zone is?
A half zone is when the defense is guarding half the zone. In other words, you can guard zone or man-to-man.
Let me ask what the rule that applies to a half zone by definition. Do you know?
The definition of the rule?
No, the half zone. Number 1, do you know what the rule that applies to a half zone defense is?
No, not half zone.
Number 3, do you happen to know?
No.
Well, can you tell me, number 3, in amateur basketball, how close can the man guarding the man with the ball be?
So the man with the ball is able to take one step without sliding into the guard.
Polly?
Number 1, what's the main difference between a girls' basketball team and a boys' basketball team?
Well, the one there are men, the other women.
Play.
If I'd have wanted you to answer it, I would have asked you.
For number 5.
There are 5 on a men's team, 6 on a women's, and the guards on women's cannot shoot for basket.
Oh, I see. Number 2.
Wait, what'd she say?
What determines...
There are 5 on a men's team, 6 on a women's, and the guards on women's cannot shoot for basket.
Oh, I see. Number 2. What
I still didn't hear
determines
it.
how many free throws you get?
The kind of foul.
The kind of foul.
Technical.
What would give you 2 free throws?
Free
Free throws.
Free throws.
Number 3. Free throws, number 3.
If a player were in the act of shooting and was fouled and the basket was not made, then he would get 2 free throws.
Thank you.
That's it. Once again, it's time to vote. So without consultation as before,
I don't
you kindly mark
know.
your ballots, panel, and select thereby number 1, number 2, or number 3.
I'm gonna say number.
You voted?
Could
No,
I ask a couple
number 2.
more
I'm gonna say number 2.
After the show, maybe, but not right now. For whom did you vote?
I think it's number 3. But I voted for number 2. Because I think really that it's number 2, excepting that number 3 was very bright and also...
No, it's not number
so
2.
Lovely.
There's
that I
no
figured maybe
way
they're doing
she
that
comes
on
in
purpose.
wearing a referee striped thing. It's number 1.
To louse us up. So could I get a half and half?
That's probably the first and only time you'll ever be loused up by a Presbyterian minister's wife. Dana?
Well, being a Baptist minister's son, that's why I concentrated on the minister's part of it. I'm a little dubious about 1 or 2, but I will select number 2 for the reason that she knew the Girl Scout leader. And she answered the other questions correctly, too, that I can think of.
Okay, Kitty?
I voted for number 2. She's the only one that looks sturdy enough to get on the field, or whatever they call it, and do the whole bit.
Whatever they call
And
it.
Tom, your vote, please.
Well, I'm making it unanimous. I see there are 3 for number 2 there. I voted for number 2 as well. I figured that really a Girl Scout leader should know the name of the national Girl Scout leader, although she could have given any name and I wouldn't have known whether she was right.
Okay, there it is. The die is cast. Let's find out if it's right or wrong as we discover which one of these 3 charming ladies is the real basketball referee. So may I ask the real Carol Ziegler to please stand up.
Dude. Damn it, dude. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this, dude.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting. Number 3 was the one that said Westminster Fellowship, and I am a Presbyterian, and that is what it's called. I knew at that point which one it was, because I don't know beforehand. Number 1, you tell us your real name and what you do, please.
My name is Elizabeth Kilkenny, and I'm a secretary for Westinghouse here in New York.
And number to your name. You've got it all the boat.
I'm very sturdy. My name is Beth Brady, and I work for the Orion Press Book Publishing Company here in New York City.
And you have to be sturdy.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this was a like psychological play. Someone backstage is like, put this shirt on. We're going to run a little experiment here and see if this makes everyone vote for you. And if that's the case, it worked. I voted for one, though. I was still wrong. I was wrong as hell.
Oh, bless you. I, Monty Atwater, am a United States Forest Service snow ranger and avalanche control expert. I'm the Forest Service consultant for the Winter Olympics to be held next month at Squaw Valley in Tahoe National Forest, California. Our Olympic snow safety plan includes a system of avalanche control. Snow slides are a very real danger to both skier and spectator. It is the job of me and my crew to destroy potentially dangerous snowpacks as they build up. We blast these formations with special bombs and...
All right. It's 3. It's 3. 2 looks too much like a businessman, probably a salesperson. 1 could be, but based off of looks, I'm going with 3. This guy looks like he destroys snow, dude.
And with high explosive shells fired from artillery pieces.
Oh my god, yes, dude. With the haircut and everything, this dude enjoys blowing up snow. There's no way it's not number 3, dude.
Recognized as one of the foremost avalanche control authorities in the United States. Signed, Monty Atwater. Three stalwart, brawny gentlemen this time, each claiming panel to be Monty Atwater, avalanche control expert. Let's begin this round with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Number 1, what's a herringbone?
A herringbone is a term used in skiing.
Number 2, what does the term mean in skiing? Herringbone.
It's a thing to do on skis.
Number 3, what is this thing that you do on skis that is a term used in skiing mean, called herringbone?
It's a figure that we use when we ski.
Number 1, is this Tahoe where Lake Tahoe is?
Yes, it's real close. It's about 8 or 10 miles away.
I see, then. Thank you. Could you tell me the name of the roads that you would take from Reno up to Lake Tahoe?
Route 40.
Dana?
Number 1, what is the name of the forest, your superior in Tahoe National Forest?
Name of my superior is Richard McCardle.
Who is the head in Washington of the National Forest Service?
Ezra Taft Benson.
Getting back to the herringbone, where does the herringbone, can you tell me quickly where the name herringbone came from? Why do they call it herringbone?
It's still the number 1?
Yes, still the number 1.
Herringbone is so called because it has a pattern like a herringbone. You know, crisp.
Yes. Now, what size bombs do you use in blasting the avalanches?
The snow bombs weigh about 10 pounds.
Kitty?
Number 2, who runs Squaw Valley? The skiing place.
Mr. Cushing.
Number 3, can you tell me what Monty stands for?
Well, that's an abbreviation of my first name, Montgomery.
Number 2, what does it stand for?
Montgomery, it's a nickname.
Number 1, can you tell me how big an avalanche is when it starts?
Well, an avalanche can be different sizes. It depends on how the snow is packed.
How big can it be to start with?
Well, it could be 300-400 yards.
Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Gee, I'm kind of... number 2, what is the trigger on a field piece called?
The trigger.
Number 3?
It's still a trigger.
Yes, what do you call it?
Well, when you pull a trigger, that's what it is.
Is that what you pull on a field piece, number 2?
Depends on the kind of field piece. It could be a trigger or it could be a lanyard. You might be thinking of on the ship or something like that.
I guess so. Number 2, again, please. Does it ever get too cold to snow?
Yes.
Number 3, tell me, how do you know when those snowpacks build up to a point where they become dangerous?
Well, we have meteorology whereby we have fieldmen that look into that and that are trained to participate in that type of work. And when that happens, we set off a bomb.
That's it. Time to vote. Once again, panel, if you will, please, without consultation, vote and mark your ballots for number 1.
Oh, I don't think it's 1. He answered the questions badly. Number 2, I thought looked like a salesperson, but after he got to talking, salespeople can make stuff up on the fly and make it seem like they know what they're talking about. He didn't really do that. I thought he was gonna like do something like that to try to trick them, and he didn't really. I mean, I guess he kind of did on that last one. And then number 3, he looks like it, but he didn't answer anything convincingly. Everyone's very monotone in this, so it's hard to say. I'm thinking, do I stick with my gut with number 3? Or do I switch it up and change to what I want to change to and say number 2? I'm going to say number 3.
Number 2 or number 3? Everyone set?
Wait, did I say 3?
Real quick.
I'm going with number 3. I don't know if I said 3 or not. I forget, but I'm going with number 3.
Polly, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, I voted for number 3. I thought a herringbone was the track you left as you were walking uphill after skiing down. I never got that answer from any of them. They were either being evasive or they didn't know. But I decided on number 3 because I like his hair. You try to come up with a good answer for why you voted.
Dana, which one do you think is the real
Well,
one?
the hair of number 1 is quite nice, too. Not quite as light as number 3, but I voted for number 1 for the reason that he explained the herringbone. He knew his superior officer without hesitation and who was the head in Washington. And some other answers that I can't remember at the moment were very convincing to me.
Okay. Kitty?
Probably wrong.
I've had a hard day. It's my son Christopher Hart's birthday, and he's home with a cold, and I haven't been right all evening.
So please.
But I voted for number 2.
Tom, what about yours?
He said Mr. Cushing was the head of Squaw Valley, and I believe that's true.
What do you mean he didn't know how to pronounce his name? Because I voted for guess what?
Oh. You're probably right, but he said
Number 2 is your vote, Tom?
Well, I did vote for number 2.
Well, he'd like to change it now that we've discussed it.
No, I tell you, but I do have something else that I must say
All right,
now.
come on, dude.
Yes.
As far as I know, I've never actually met number 1. We haven't met.
Shut up.
No, but I think I've seen his picture. I think I've seen him. He's a model. I'm sure I've seen your picture somewhere. Maybe not, but it struck me that I had. So it naturally wouldn't vote for him. But I couldn't say so at the time because, right? So I voted for number 2. But maybe I should disqualify myself if he is.
No, leave it the way it is and let's see what happens. We've had our
Oh,
vote.
let him have a, you know.
Well, let's see how the voting works out here. As you can see it up there on the board, let's find out right now which one of them is the real Snow Ranger with the real Monty Atwater. Please satisfy our curiosity and stand up. We'll find out. Thank you very much, Monty. Regards to you from Lowell Thomas, who wrote me a letter saying to say hello to you.
I knew I should have changed it. I knew I should have changed my answer, dude. Oh, I'm so pissed, dude. Oh my god, I knew it too. I knew it too. Oh, that's the worst part about it.
On his behalf, I didn't know which one of you to say hello to just now. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you do, please?
My name is Frank Garrity, and in the summer I'm a golf pro at the Woodmark Country Club in Hammond, Indiana, and in the winter I model and do TV commercials in New York.
TV commercial. So you were right, Tom. All right, number 3, tell us your real name and what you do.
My name is Harry Brown. I'm a financial printing salesman for Panda Express Incorporated in the city of New York.
Thank you very much.
Panda Express. Whoa. You know, this is interesting stuff to know that brands have been around this long. Panda Express in the 60s, dude. What?
And finally, Mr. Tom Poston.
Man, all these dudes' hairlines are hanging on by a thread, dude. What the hell? What was going on?
Our panel, will you please follow along with this first affidavit? I, Joyce Case, am an airline stewardess for Central Airlines. I am also a pilot. I soloed when I was 16 years old and won my commercial pilot's license when I was 20. Although I have flown a modern jet, my main...
I don't think it's this one. The number 3. She's got these like cute dimples. She's probably like a model. Especially in the 60s.
Antique aircraft. Now this film shows me flying.
Based off of their... It's so... I don't know why I always do this, but based off of their looks, I'm gonna say 2.
My 20...
Kind of 1. It's like 60%. No, it's more like 50% sure it's 2, 40% it's 1, and then 10% it could be 3.
28-year-old Great Lakes biplane, in which I give stunt flying demonstrations at air meets. All right, then let's begin our game tonight with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Number 1, it says here you are an airline stewardess. Could I be an airline stewardess?
Could you be an airline
Yes.
stewardess? Are you married?
What? If I weren't married, could I be?
You're very attractive, I would imagine.
Number 2, could I be an airline stewardess?
The age limit.
She's only 30.
Well, that lets me out, too.
Yeah.
And me. I'm sorry.
If I were underage, would I be?
There's an age limit of 27.
Number 3, could I be I passed that one. Number 3.
Well, I don't know what your eye situation is, but if you're farsighted, you can't be an airline student.
If you're what, I'm sorry?
I mean, if you're nearsighted.
Oh, if you're
If you
nearsighted.
can't see far away, then you can't be. I mean, like if you wear reading glasses, that's permissible.
I see.
Arthur Schwartz.
I don't like number 2. It isn't anything personal. It's just an immediate thing happened between us. I don't know what it was.
She's a little sorry for that snap roll herself.
Yeah, I know she was.
I'm not going to ask whether I could be a stewardess. I'm going to ask you, number 1, what is the name of the first prominent stunt flyer in aviation history?
The first prominent stunt flyer?
Stunt flyer.
Oh, I don't know exactly who that
This is a weird question because how are you supposed to know that, you know? Unless you're really into it, sometimes you just enjoy doing this kind of stuff, but like sometimes you don't know who the people are who are like famous for it, you know?
Number 2.
Billy Robinson.
I beg your pardon?
Billy Robinson.
Number 3.
I don't know who the first one would be.
Number 1, how many engines did Lindbergh carry on his famous voyage?
I believe he had 1.
Number 2.
1.
Number 3.
I believe it was single engine.
Number 1, what is the name of the manufacturer of the first biplane?
The first biplane?
Yes, that's a plane with 2 engines. 2 planes.
I'm sorry, I don't know who the first
Do you know number 2?
Kitty?
Number 1, what is a biplane?
It is an airplane with 2 wings, double wings.
Number 2.
Not married.
And it's under 27.
Number 2, there's a lack of empathy between you and me and Polly, I will admit. But I would like to ask
I
you...
don't mind being older.
I would like to ask you what kind of covering the Wright brothers used for the wings of their first plane, canvas. Number 3, where does the Central Airlines operate?
Well, we operate in 6 central states.
What's that?
6 states in the central United States: Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Colorado, and Arkansas.
All points west. Tom Post.
I thought those were great questions, Kitty. You're a hawk tonight.
Oh,
Get the
yes,
joke?
I am.
Get the joke, Kitty?
I'm a little slow, but I get it.
You're right, brother. Number 3.
Yo, this is weird to me. Someone would make that joke now. This is the 60s. They're supposed to be doing weird jokes. But they're making he made a pun and then he fake laughed at it and the audience booed. That's stuff people do these days. Something weird's going on here.
3. Who is Shelley Berman?
He's a comic.
What does he have to do with airline hostesses? That's why I asked you.
Oh. Well, he tells jokes about them, I think.
Yeah, beautifully, too. Could you tell me number 3?
Tea or milk? I said coffee, tea, or milk.
Coffee, tea, or milk. But Mr. Plane is on... number 3, please. How many wings on a Stearman?
Well, a Stearman is an antique airplane, I think it's a monoplane.
Number 1?
Time to vote, panel, without further consultation, without any consultation. Please mark your ballots. And in so doing, of course, select number 1, number 2, or number 3.
I still think it's number 2 because she answered with the most confidence, but number 3 has slightly gone up for me. It's now like 45, 40, and like 15. So even like number 1 is kind of still going with 2. Sticking with my gut.
And the team of challengers will, as usual, receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Is everybody marked? Are you nearsighted, Polly?
I'm blind. Besides being old, I'm blind. I voted for number 2.
I'm sorry, I didn't vote yet. I didn't vote yet.
Hurry up.
Hurry up, Tom.
Don't by myself on the grounds of ignorance? I don't know.
All right. Okay,
Well,
Polly,
it was
for
a
whom did
very
you vote?
tight squeeze for me. I really felt strongly it was number 3 because when I asked the question, the specific reason why I asked the question is because I had my glasses on. Number 1 and number 2 didn't comment about the eyeglasses, which was the reason I was looking for as to why I could not be an airline stewardess. Number 3 did comment on the glasses. But number 2 mentioned some name of somebody who started flying something, and it was very impressive, and I didn't want her to think I was really mad at her.
Arthur, your vote.
I voted for number 2 because she gave an answer to the question, who was the first stunt flyer? Now, I don't know if that's the correct answer because I don't know who's the first stunt flyer. But she gave an answer to it.
Fine, that's the reason why I voted for it. Couldn't stick to my regular one.
Kitty?
I voted for number 3 on account of the eyes, and I wanted number 2 to know that there is no hard feelings between us. I didn't vote for her because I thought she was too young to have accomplished all this.
She's under 27, in other words. Tom?
Look what I did. I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened that way. Well, I tell you, I wanted to vote for number 3.
Yeah.
But a Stearman, you know, is a tremendously popular airplane. In fact, it may even be a Great Lakes trainer, for all I know. But it's a biplane. I don't know whether it's a Great Lakes trainer, but it's quite similar. And so I tried number 1 because I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to ask those 2 ladies any questions.
Okay, there we have it now. We know how we stand, and if you're playing along with us at home, which we trust you are, check on your votes now as we check on ours, in discovering which one of these 3 ladies is the stewardess and stunt flyer. So will the real Joyce Case please stand up?
Fuck off, dude. Oh my god, dude. I'm so stupid. What, have I gotten 1 right? I think I've only gotten 1 right this whole time. Oh my god, dude.
You pulled them right down the line. A question, just a minute. We'll have a question. Find out about the other two first. Number two, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
First, my apologies.
Oh, no, it's not necessary at all, dear.
My name is Sandra Chapman, and I'm assistant manager of catering at New York University.
Thank you very much. And number three, your real name and what you do with your pretty dimples.
Well, my name is Lee Towers. I'm a New
Oh,
York
that's
housewife.
creepy, dude. That is creepy. Don't say that, dude. Even though I said that a little bit ago, I wouldn't say it out loud to, like, the person. It just makes it creepy. I was doing it purely on trying to analyze the situation. He'd made it weird.
And the proud mother of a 7-week-old son.
I guess she was a model. So, like, that's where my thought process was going. I guessed she was a model because in the 60s, dimples were, like, the one thing that they could, like, look at. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking the 60s is way longer than what it actually was. Maybe I'm thinking, like, the 20s where, like, they have to cover their ankles up and stuff. No, that dude, like, I think I'm gonna watch that some more throughout the week on stream. That was fun, actually. I really enjoyed that, and because they're so old, and it was shot so long ago, it almost feels like they're fictional characters because they, like, don't exist in modern time and nothing they talk about is really talked about anymore. So it's like this weird fictional world that's actually real. That sounds really dumb, but it's intriguing stuff, and it's fun, and it's funny, and it's hilarious. So goodbye, have fun, and